Now, for the longest time, and you may have felt this or you might not have felt this, but if you're subscribed to my channel or you subscribe to my work or see the kind of stuff that I do, you'll know that what I speak to can challenge a lot of long-held beliefs about life, about the body, about relationships, about the metaphysical and psychospiritual aspects of the world, reality, as we receive and perceive it. And what's been showing up for me in the last couple of months is talking to God and what God is and how God has become something over the years to be and mostly oppressive force. And then we try and justify or make excuses for our model of God. Most of the Western world has been civilized under the Christian God, a Judeo-Christian God, which includes Judaism, Catholicism, Presbyterianism, baptism, the Abrahamic religions, right? And the God that is described in those paradigms is a hierarchical God, right? And if you're familiar with the Old Testament and the New Testament, and you look at the Old Testament God, he's vengeful and he floods the earth and he punishes people. And then all of a sudden he switches personalities in the New Testament through Jesus to, oh no, you're all forgiven now. You're all this now. It's like, well, wait a minute. Like I can understand a heroic story arc in all of this, but something felt fundamentally off. Why would someone that loves and cares for me create me and then punish me when I'm disobedient, right? And punish me in all kinds of ways. And if you look at how the good book, majority, most of this is going to speak to Christianity. And for those of you that know me, know that towards the end of presentations like this or videos like this, towards the end is where all the weaving in the web of all the things that I've spoken to come together, because I'm speaking from this place of unraveling and then raveling, like weaving in a tapestry, as my grandma used to say. It's a rich tapestry. Life is a rich tapestry. So doubling back to the Christian God is the one that I'm going to be mostly speaking to, is this concept of the original sin. And at the end and midway through this, possibly in the next paragraph, I'll talk to a book that will redefine your relationship with God, divinity, and the cosmos, right? So doubling back to the Bible, original sin, okay, so we have fallen. So straight away, we are a lesser than. So in the harmony of the cosmic way, there is no lesser than, there is no upper than, there is no lower than. Everybody is energetically equal. Okay, there's a harmony. And while you're listening to me speak, allow this to be in your body and see if it feels like truth for you. Because what I'm about to speak to speaks to the senses, common sense, what your alignment of all of your body's functions, ears, sound, smell, come into when you're hearing this, okay? A lot of my work involves showing people what their individual truth is, how to express it, how to be with it, right? From starting a relationship to ending a relationship, right? So original sin or straight away casts humanity as something that's inherently flawed, that needs to seek repentance or some kind of penance in order to make us worthy in the eyes of a God. Also, from the Bible, man is put above nature. Man has been charged with taking care of nature. That is an outright lie. Nature doesn't need any help. Nature is a fractal and a fragment of the cosmic whole, and a fragment in a way that's not separate from, a part of. Okay, in this in Christianity, then you had priests and pastors that were put between you and God to act as interpretaries, right? And all kinds of stuff. I remember when I was in church, all kinds of stuff would come out of the Bible that would justify a church's position or a pastor's position, right? And the book that I'm going to recommend here that I really encourage you to explore is called I Ching, The Oracle of the Cosmic Way. I Ching, the Oracle of the Cosmic Way. And this is a new version of the I Ching, new being it was written about 22 years, 23 years ago, okay, 2002, I think it was. And these authors who are familiar with the I Ching saw that there was something that was subtly off. All right. Same thing in this conversation, something subtly off about God, right? This image of God that's being worshipped right now. And in that, they could see that the I Ching had, like most books and doctrines and religious texts, have been doctored by man to keep us in control. All right, religion is no pit for the masses. And they could see that the feudal systems that existed in China had corrupted the I Ching for their own benefit, where the emperor was seen as someone that was above reproach, right? And his lordsmen were above reproach. Right? You couldn't question them because the emperor was chosen, right? So what these authors saw was that there's a hierarchy put in place, which is incorrect, right? There is no hierarchy. There is cosmic order, which is its own flow, it's its own essence, it's its own frequency. And then there's all this hierarchy, and a hierarchy is required by the ego and the collective ego to keep it in place. Because when you acknowledge that there is a hierarchy, then you try and find your place in the hierarchy to make yourself feel whole and welcome, and all these other things that flow into relationship survival patterns, right? So within this book, the I Ching, the Oracle of the Cosmic Way, there is an encouragement to use a teacher within the book, its own consciousness within the book, called the Sage. And the Sage can be accessed through a 3-coin method. And this might sound pretty crazy, and I encourage you to have a look, because it's a way to take responsibility for your own life, your own dignity, your own relationships, your own understanding of the cosmic way, and your position, your place in it, your uniqueness, not specialness, your uniqueness in the cosmic way, right? And within that, there's also helpers. And helpers are not angels, they are not spirits, okay? They are, fragments of the cosmic whole that understand the timing of the cosmic whole, right? So in a hierarchical ego-based system, we avoid asking for help. We avoid it. Or we ask for help from an egoic place, like, oh, I need this because of this reason, because I've lost myself down a fate, like I've made all of these decisions and now I'm stuck and now I need to get out of this decision. And the helpers can help you do that. And you need to acknowledge that the helpers have been helping you all along. So in an egoic centered and a human centered view of the universe, where humans are the most important things, your life is the most important thing, we think that we've made the transformation, like I've made the transformation. And by not acknowledging these helpers, these invisible helpers, we deny them the chi. We deny them the chi that we get from living in cosmic harmony, right? So we try and push and grind and do things on our own, right? In that, when we step outside of the cosmic way, the cosmic harmony, fate is installed. A fate is directed to you like a sentence, like a prison sentence, which encourages you to come back into the cosmic whole. And it's not a punishment, okay? To understand what that feels like, you need to read the book and understand. And it's not a punishment, right? It's not like sin. Right? It's not like guilt, which is an aberration to all of this, all of life. Guilt is an aberration to all of this. And I'm going to jump around a bit here because I'm just looking at my list here of things that I spoke about, or just brainstormed in through me, is that the book helps you connect to your common sense. Common sense. And you may have heard the saying, common sense isn't all that common. And yes, that's true, because our bodies have been shamed and disconnected from feeling. All right. This version of the I Ching speaks very seriously and importantly to the importance of feeling, which dovetails into my work and all the body work that I help people through, all the books that I encourage people to read that relate to connecting in with your senses, your instinct. So I knew this before reading the I Ching. I was being shown these breadcrumbs by the followers to help close this metaphysical loop, that the spiritual world is so deeply tied to the physical world, and the way to access that is through the bridge in the body, right? So as far as the book web goes, a book web being, if you can visualize a spider's web, and books and content that can help you learn to trust yourself, align yourself with cosmic harmony, and flow with ease and grace through life. The I Ching, the Oracle of the Cosmic Way, and the 5 Personality Patterns by Stephen Kessler will help you get there. Because the 5 personality patterns helps you decondition your physical body from the armoring, the belief systems that keep you trapped in place. And the I Ching, the Oracle of the Cosmic Way, helps you say an internal no, right? And the survival patterns that are spoken about in the 5 personality patterns all have their own way of not being able to express their own internal no, right? For example, the leaving pattern cannot feel their no because they keep disassociating out of their body. They keep leaving their body. There isn't really a body to be able to sense a full body no, right? The merging pattern is unsure about their no if the no is going to hurt the other person or the other thing. So they don't know what a full body no feels like, right? The enduring pattern within the 5 personality patterns internalizes their no. They don't know how to express it. They don't know how to actually create what the sensation in their body is of an internal no. And then the aggressive pattern says no to the other before they say no internally. It's all about an outward no because they're always on the lookout for someone to betray them. And then the rigid, their no comes in rules and either ors. So they can't say no, but if it contradicts with another external rule, right? So the 5 personality patterns helps you really define and ground in your own internal no. And the inner no is something that I've mentioned before, just in this video, that the I Ching, the Oracle of the Cosmic Way, presents to you. You can say an inner no to anything in your life, and it allows the helpers to come in, and there's an assortment of helpers that you can call in your life to help you flow, to help you move through your life, to help you sort out whatever's going on in your life that you're wanting to connect to or move through. Just going to check something here. What am I doing here? I'm going to check to make sure my speaker is working, the correct microphone is working here. Yeah, it is great. Fantastic. All right. Now, if what I'm saying in here is making sense to you and you're loving this, or there's something that's like in your body, put it in the comments. Let me know. Share this with me that you're getting something from this, okay? And if you're someone that responded on the post on Facebook and you've got this link now, let me know. Tell me, like, John, this is what I've been looking for, or it's not what I've been looking for, or it really brought up some things about my relationship with God and the church and religion, etc., right? What's also spoken about in this book, and this could be confronting for a lot of people that use soul in their work, or soul in their branding, or soul in their life, soulmates or twin flames, is that the soul is a construct. The soul is a construct that appeals to the ego for it to exist out beyond death, right? Soul puts us on a hierarchy above everything else that doesn't have a soul. When you eliminate the concept of the soul and see everything as consciousness solidified, it changes your relationship with everything around you, with people, with animals, with nature, because you're no longer special, because you don't have a soul anymore, right? There is no soul. Soul has been used as a mechanism for the ego to get off on itself and to be able to direct you into good and bad behavior and hell and heaven. So if you're listening to this, and a lot of the people that come to work with me have come from religious backgrounds, they're paralyzed by this concept of heaven and hell. Hell, get this. For example, recently, I was working with someone and he wanted to leave the church. He ended up being seconded, cornered by pastors in his church, having hour-long conversations with him, trying to threaten him about heaven and hell. Like, I've got people in my DMs that try and rebuke me or try and convert me back into church or back into God, but that model is done. It's done, guys. It's done. It got us up to this way, and it's not going to get us any further, right? that model of subjugation and hierarchy is going to leave you exhausted in your relationships and continuously searching for something that doesn't exist. But the ego will get off on it. The ego gets off on talking about soul and deep soul connection and soul. It's nothing, right? It's not there. It's not a thing, okay? And the I Ching, the Oracle of the Cosmic Way, speaks to this in a direct and better, much more efficient way that I'm speaking to it. But I've got all this emotion that's coming through me through this, which might speak to you that a book won't, okay? So if you're someone who wants the deep joy in life and love that emanates into all other areas of life, this is the book that can help you get there. This is genuine love, all right? If there's a part of you that believe that God is love, this book is a facility, it's a gateway, it's a portal in order for you to access that, right? In the 5 personality patterns work and in my aligned attraction work, it's all about unlocking the love that's been trapped by all of your beliefs, your phrases in your head, the part of your body that holds in or holds back or tries to hold up or hold together relationships, which are destined to just naturally rot and naturally collapse. And if you were connected with your common senses, you may have never got into that relationship in the first place, because it's the common senses that guide you and direct your instinct into the love that's aligned for you, right? So again, if you feel this to be true, let me know. If you decide to go and buy the Oracle, the I Ching, the Oracle of the Cosmic Way, let me know. There's actually an amazing, it's not amazing, it's an okay YouTube channel of a guy that vocalized the book, each hexagram and some chapters of the book on YouTube. So if you want to go check it out, go check it out. His voice is different to mine. You will get some benefit out of it. He also talks to gene keys and human design in the context of the I Ching, because human design and gene keys have an I Ching basis, and they used the old version of the I Ching. They used the feudal system I Ching, right? In gene keys, the heaven on earth that's spoken to there is over there. It's in the future. It's not here right now. The collective ego creates a parallel universe, right? A parallel reality that you could actually be living in the heaven right now. And I know I feel like that every day. I feel like that the people that I connect to, the conversations that I have, when I wake up and just live life to the absolute fullest, the chi that runs through my body that helps nurture the helpers that I'm now giving and giving my acknowledgement and gratitude to are continuously flourishing and nurturing my life. They're watering my life, right? And if you go to express to me or express this to other people and it gets stuck in your throat or your head or your hands, then there's a self-image there that you're not allowing yourself to dissolve, and you can call in helpers. There's actually a helper of dissolution that can help you dissolve self-images and phrases that keep you trapped in your body, trapped in a way of being. Because when you start looking at these phrases and these self-images, it reframes how you've shown up in the world for most of your life. And if you want to do that, if you want to do this deep work, and not saying that the shallow work is any better or lesser than, it just requires a different level of commitment, right? And commitment in this level of the work requires you to really have a look at the life that you've created. And that can be really challenging. You can't just pray your way through this. You need to feel your way through this. Because when you deeply connect to your body, your instinctual nature, your attraction, your desires, the carnality, right? The part of you that's evolved through eons of survival, and you connect to that reptilian brain, which we look down upon. We look down upon the reptilian brain. It's a huge part of who we are and how we attract and how we express and receive love. If you look down on that and can't see it for the beautiful, beautiful thing that it is, then you'll always be exhausted and let down and disappointed, betrayed, left wanting in relationships. So in summary, in all of this, I Ching, the Oracle of the Cosmic Way, will be a gateway to a new version and a new relationship with God that I think that you may have been looking for most of your life, because you've been feeling that something has been subtly off, with God. Something's been subtly off with the thing that's being worshipped under the banner of God, right? So again, if this has spoken to you, put it in the comments. Let me know. Share what you hear and feel for yourself in this, because then I know and I can rub my ego and say, look, I'm doing a good thing. Double checking my notes here. Yeah, I'm good. Thank you all for listening. Mad love to you all. Mwah. Bye.